The premise of Gravity Falls is basically inspired by my relationship growing up with my twin sister Ariel. There she is. There she is. Wait. You know the thing? 3, 2, 1. Twins! We're twins, as you could tell by the little rhyme, or the little thing we did. It's not a rhyme. Whatever. Growing up with a twin sister is basically like having a best friend who's assigned to you at birth. So the benefit is you always have a friend. The negative is you didn't choose this person, and you just have to be around each other all the time, which results in a lot of fun adventures and also you guys driving each other crazy and being at each other's throats. And I thought that was a very interesting dynamic for a television show.
Look, this summer, I've seen some amazing things, but nothing as amazing as you and your sister. I don't know if it's dumb luck or yin and yang or whatever, but when you two work together, there's like nothing you two can't accomplish.
What was it like growing up as a twin in the Hirsch household?
I mean, we lived in a small house, so we shared a lot of stuff, mostly like bickering over the computer a lot.
We shared everything. We had one of everything. So we had one phone and one computer and one kitchen, and there was only one bedroom, meaning that I had to move out and sleep in the laundry room.
He chose to do that.
Yeah, well, do you remember that very well, that game of chicken?
No.
We were like in 3rd grade or something, and we shared a room, and it was
like time for you to move.
It was time for one of us to move.
Yeah.
And whoever could stick it out the longest got to keep the bedroom.
The big bedroom.
The nice big bedroom with the windows and the shelves and the walk-in closet.
Oh, yeah.
And then I could not handle being in a room with you, so I had to move to the laundry room. So I'm like Harry Potter, like sleeping under the floorboards. Like it was literally like there was a tiny little room. There was a ironing board that came out of the wall that I used as a desk. It was that or spend more time with my sister. So I
got the big room. So
you got the big room, so you won.
Mabel, the room is mine. Give it to me.
What's with you? Why do you need that room so bad?
I basically tried to strip mine my memories of my sister for every specific detail I could get in there. So we did a sticker short because she loves stickers. We did a color short because she loved rainbows. She wanted to have a pet pig. We have a pet pig. She had scrunchies and slap bracelets. We wanted to do those.
Boom! 1,000,000 slap bracelets!
I remember that when we were younger, Ariel, she was always the smiling one, and we wanted to do a short called Mabel's Guide to Smiles, because we did like 5 shorts, and we had to cut Mabel's Guide to Smiles.
Why? What did you do?
It's not that bad. I was just trying to think of like, okay, when Ariel was very young, we were at some kind of bar or something.
Oh, with the button.
With the button, and we were very young, and there was this really big, tough, kind of Hell's Angels kind of biker type person with this...
It was a woman.
This like really gnarly woman, and she had this button with some kind of swears on it. I don't think we can swear on camera.
Okay.
And Ariel, you were really young, and you famously walked up to her and said, I like your button.
I like your button, because I think it was rainbow, but it had a swear word on it, and it was rainbow.
So you were so fearless. So from that idea, we extrapolated the concept from Mabel's Guide to Smiles, which is Mabel's like, I love smiling, and I can make anyone smile, so I'm going to Gravity Falls maximum security prison to cheer up all the convicts. So like Mabel's walking in, like, and everybody's looking at her through the bars, and she's like, I'm gonna make you smile, Killbone. I'm gonna make you smile, Fist Dog, or whatever these guys' names were. And like, there was just a lot of scenes of just like convicts, like, they're like making shanks, and then like they form them into a smile because Mabel made them smile. We ended up taking all of those convicts and making them Gideon's henchmen in the 2nd season.
Well, then one of them is in a bar, right, when Mabel goes in.
That's true, yeah.
And she sort of does the same thing.
In Headhunters, we have a scene very similar to that.
Hey there, fellow restaurant patron. Bap!
There's a scene in the second to last episode of the series, Mabel Land, where there's a flashback to school photo day, and that's our actual elementary school. I showed that Beach Elementary in Piedmont, California. I showed that to our artist. He basically copied that. Mabel's got slap bracelets and scrunchies. Ariel was all about that stuff.
I still have my original sticker collection, so that's right up Mabel's alley.
She's more like Mabel than she admits.
I mean, a lot of it is pulled pretty directly from me. But I mean, I love it.
Mabel.
Mabel's not here. She's in Sweater Town.
Are you gonna come out of Sweater Town?
Sweater Town isn't a thing Ariel did, it's a thing I did.
Alex would
but I
do.
didn't do it to hide from reality. I did it to frighten people.
Yeah.
We were at this art gallery when I was
It was a museum.
We were in a
in
museum
New York.
when I was like 11 or something, and I was wearing a rainbow tie-dyed shirt, and I hid my entire body inside of it and just like waited next to like an exhibit, and then like people thought I was art, and then I'd pop out and scream and freak them out. So like little things like that, like there's some cross-pollination, I think, in the show.
You've broken up with guys, right?
Oh, yeah. Russ Durham, Eli Hall, Stoney Davidson.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I thought everything was back to normal, but I still feel all gross.
Mike Worley, Nate Holt, the guy with the tattoos.
Alex actually used names of boys I liked. And this is not something he told me about. This was like after the season had come out, and I'm watching it like by myself at home, and Wendy's character starts going like, oh yeah, like Steve Epstein and Matt Durham. And I was just like, Alex? Oh my God, like that's not okay. I mean, he took the names and sort of like rearranged them, but it was like first names and last names of boys that I actually liked.
Yeah.
And
I still remembered the names.
I know, and that one killed me because no one else watching that episode would have thought anything. That was for me. Like,
you think it was for you, it was for me.
I mean, it's for you to make fun of me. But I was the only one who would pick up on that. Like, that just blew me away.
It's my big chance to have an epic summer romance.
Yeah, but do you need to flirt with every guy you meet?
My name is Mabel, but you can call me the girl of your dreams. I'm joking!
In the shorts, there's Mabel's Guide to Color, which was inspired by Ariel's love when we were very young of Rainbow Bright.
I loved Rainbow Bright.
We almost did a Gravity Falls short where Mabel, she's basically playing Rainbow Bright. She had her own version of it, like Rainbarella Sparklekins or something, and she's using the black and white filter on her video camera to turn Gravity Falls gray, and she's like, oh no, the mean Grumple Stan turned everything gray. And she's like filming Stan, he's like, I don't know what's happening. She's like, oh, but Rainbarella is gonna make it color again, and she like turns the color back on, but it was such a specific reference to Rainbow Bright, nobody got it, so we just did Mabel's Guide to Color instead.
That's good, that works out.
According to history, the world was black and white until color was invented by a magic wizard named Crandolph the Fabulous. What's your favorite color, Gravity Falls?
Certain little things that the characters would do, like Dipper chews on his pen, and that Alex does that all the time. And certain things like that, I think maybe Mabel doing a little like boop boop, like these are things that I do to you.
Yeah.
And so I remember seeing that in the show and just being like, oh my God, this is so bizarre that like the energy was very reminiscent of us. But then, you know, it goes off into total like Fantasyland. But it was surreal. And I got really excited. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool to see Alex's vision really come to life.
Mabel, you know all those boy bands are fake, right?
Dipper's right. They're just a manufactured product of the bloated corporate music industry.
You're making my dance sad.
That dynamic was very accurate.
Well, because Alex was like, yeah, he was into UFOs and being sort of like scared and cynical of everything. And I was just shallow and I was really surface. I was just like, I like boy bands and things that are sparkly.
At 15 or 14, you were obsessed with boy bands, and I was obsessed with the potentiality of nuclear brinksmanship.
Yeah, like he was thinking about death. And
I was reading all these books about how many loose nukes there were, and like I'd like come out of my room with bags under my eyes, and
I was
you'd
like
just
reading
be
17
like
magazines.
watching
Like, that's about my
TRL,
crushes.
and you'd be like, oh my gosh, bye, I just got on TRL. And that's probably when we were like at our most friction point.
Right, because we just didn't care about
it drove
the
me
same
insane.
things
I'd
at
be like,
all.
how are you watching this garbage?
Yeah.
This is nothing for nobody. There's 5 bands that are identical. They're just being pumped out, and you love them equally. This is a product made for you, and you're swallowing it.
And I was just like, I love it. It's great. Leave it alone.
Uncynically. Yeah. No, I mean, I was the jerk in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, in retrospect, I was the jerk because I was a little snob and I couldn't just like things for liking things' sake. And I was also a huge hypocrite because I was obsessed with Pokemon, and Pokemon is a product genetically engineered for a little 13-year-old boy to love it, which anybody else would say, what in God's name is happening here? You know? Like, and you tolerated Pokemon.
I liked it. I played it with you.
You never gave me the kind of hassle that I gave you.
No, I got into it enough to like enjoy it with you.
Enjoying my fad.
We played the game.
Yeah.
I'd watch it with you.
So like that dynamic is real.
Dungeons, and more dungeons! Do you want to play it with me?
Well, I do like unicorns, and that hot elf looks promising. How do you play?
Making the twins actually like each other was the fundamental bedrock of the series.
Anything can go wrong between them, but like, or they get in fights or something bad can happen, but if all that falls away, like they will always have each other's back.
They like each other. They're also so familiar with each other, they know the other person will forgive anything. So like Dipper can just do this to Mabel, right? Mabel can just do that. They don't care, right? Like that's the thing you have when you're twins. I think if you're like older, younger, like younger sibling does this, and they're like, what's wrong with you?
Stop it.
But it's
We
like
don't-
we don't care. Yeah, like there's just a degree of comfort, meaning you can be your real self, and then you can get annoyed, and then you can forgive immediately.
Oh, man. Now I feel like a big jerk.
Don't you mean a little jerk?
Oh. All right, I walked into that one. Are we cool?
We're cool.
Since then, there's been so many people who have come out and be like, "Oh, thank you for making a show that shows a positive sibling relationship," because I think it's weirdly rare, you know. And it just came from like trying to be inspired by the spirit of the reality of what I remembered.
Mabel, do you believe in ghosts?
I believe you're a big dork. Ah!
I'm curious, what's your favorite episode of Gravity Falls, and what's your least favorite episode of Gravity Falls? Yeah.
Favorite episode is probably Time Traveler's Pig, just because that's when Waddles gets introduced for the first time. And yeah, so that's the thing that was true to me. I was obsessed with pigs as a little kid and really wanted a pet pig. So that's the first episode where Mabel gets her pet pig. But they also go like traveling throughout time, and I do think it's another representation of the relationship. Although I feel really bad that like Dipper has to give up so much for Mabel to get her pig.
You know, this is the perfect time for me to ask you something.
It is done.
Ha! Dipper! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you! He's saying thank you in pig, aren't you, Waddles?
I think in that episode, you know, because I am the creator of the show and like I am thinking, I'm always a bit more in Dipper's heart than I am in Mabel's. Dipper's the character who tends to learn the lesson, you know, because he tends to be the character who's making sort of a big, he's got some wrong idea about life or about the world that needs to be straightened out for him, you know? So I think in that episode, Dipper's feeling is, I can win Wendy.
Right.
I can win her over with some perfect action, and then I will have accomplished, I will have gotten the princess at the castle. And that's a very broken, limited way of thinking about the world. And like he has
about
to
relationships.
And about relationships. Like Mabel's love of Waddles is just this pure thing. It's just, I love this sweet pet. There's no lesson to learn about that for her in that story.
Yeah.
So like in that story, to me, it makes sense that like Dipper's the one who kind of has to give up this kind of broken way of thinking.
All I'm gonna do is go back and fix my one mistake. If I don't miss that baseball throw, I won't hit Wendy in the eye, and Robbie won't comfort her, and they won't start going out.
So that's your favorite episode.
Yeah.
What do you say is your least favorite episode?
I mean,
I won't be offended.
no, I know. I'm trying to think. I mean, I've watched the first one so many times, but I love it. I love it. But it's one of those ones that, like, whenever I want to introduce my friends to it or people that I'm like dating, nice test to be like, let's watch Gravity Falls. But so I have to watch that first one over and over again.
Oh,
so I've
so
just
you're just
seen it so many
so
times.
bored of the pilot.
So I'm fairly bored of it. But at the same time, like the barfing gnome at the end always makes me laugh. And I think, actually, you know what? I think that was when I first watched the pilot, I think that was also the first thing that got me, like, I was like, this is gonna be a hit. Like, when I saw the barfing gnome.
You like the barfing gnome.
The length of time that the gnome barfs.
That's a 27-second barf. That's
it's
me.
the funniest barf, because it
That's me.
just keeps... Don't do it.
As long as I possibly could go for. Yeah.
But I think that just, like, that still makes me laugh. So no matter how many times I watch that episode, I think sort of like a couple of the first ones, like Gobblewonker and like
A little slow.
Dipper and Manliness, it's sort of like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they're okay. I think the first time I really understood what was happening is I was in graduate school and I think I was bored, and so I was looking at Tumblr. And so Tumblr, because it was mostly just fan art, so suddenly people were creating tons and tons of Gravity Falls fan art. And it's just like, oh my God, this is incredible. Like, I want to be a part of this. Like, I'm a fan of this show. This is so exciting. So I joined Tumblr and sort of flippantly was like, hey, Tumblr, I'm Ariel. My brother made the show. Boop, boop. Just sort of like, didn't think anything about it. And then it went from, I had like 3 followers to like 3,000 followers in a day. And I was like, uh-oh,
Oh no.
this is a thing.
People think I'm Mabel. What do I do?
Yeah, it was like suddenly like, oh my God, like people were like, oh my God, you're this character, and I was.
Did you have an identity crisis?
It wasn't an
All these
identity
people coming to you
crisis.
thinking they know you?
It was a unique experience. Yeah, I mean, people were asking me lots of questions about Alex, about Mabel, about me, and it was just like, oh wow, I didn't know people would be interested. But they did start making me as Mabel, and that's only continued. Like, I still have a ton of Twitter followers because of Alex. There's no other reason that people only follow me because they identify me as Mabel.
I'm a congressman.
Pardon me?
You are officially pardoned.
Oi, you are never gonna make sense, are you, kid?
No, I'm not, Grunkle Stan. No, I'm not.
I think when I went to ComicCon, that was the next big layer of like, oh my God, like people recognized me walking around in ComicCon, and like Alex
Yeah,
brought
it's
me up on
weird.
stage and stuff like that, and that was really fun, but it was very surreal.
Not something you were expecting.
Not at all something I was expecting. There's no way. Like, you were like, yeah, we're going to make a show. I'm like, cool. There's no way for me to think about how big the show would become, how, like, great
Yeah.
Alex's career would start escalating. Like, I just had no idea. So it was a trip. It still is.
I can't believe you all got together just to throw a party for us.
After all the Pines family has done for the town, it's the least we could do.
3, 2, 1. Twins! Did we ever do that?
I don't think so.
I think we did it like once.
Maybe.
But now I've got her on a 3, 2, 1 whenever we need to break one out. If we're ever in a jam, people.
twins jingle?
Yeah, it'll get us out of trouble.